Promaster.
Okay, we're going to go over how to remove and replace the window regulator on this.
Wow.
You might be wondering how we got to this point. Well, there's no sense in reinventing the wheel. I'm going to put a link in the description of the video that'll take you to some good people. They have a channel called the FitRV, and he does a very good job of how to remove all this. Pretty simple, not too many tools that you need. I will link and put the description to the tools in the description also that you'll need. So right here, you're gonna get to this point, and we're gonna be putting our window regulator in here, and it's pretty simple. What happens is the window regulator bolts in with these bolts here, and there's a track, and it runs up and down. Your window is attached to it, and you're gonna probably see a cable broken or loose, obviously. Yeah, that's not supposed to be like that. Looking in here, my window actually slides up and down on its own since it's not attached with the cable. The cable's not holding it anymore. Right here is that plastic clip. I'll get you a close up here. So here's that plastic clip that we were talking about, and actually this one's already broken. Let's try and get that little better light in there. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and pull this off of here, and that'll free up the window to be disengaged from this thing. Let's see if I can do it by hand. I did, look at that. So just pull that down. Obviously see that opening there. That will free up the window from, you can see the little nub in there. It'll slide off that nub, and then you could bring the window up and separate it from the regulator. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some tape, and I'm gonna get a wedge, and I'm gonna move the window then up to the top and hold it there. That way it'll be out of our way when we are pulling the regulator out of there. Now before I go ahead and hang the window up here and make sure it's out of my way, pulling this up and down is super stiff, I just noticed. And you know, obviously that is gonna actually cause the regulator to break. I mean, right here, this is actually really stiff. So I'm gonna use some silicone spray, and this is just garage door lubricant, but it's still premium silicone spray that I had. I'll put a link to this stuff too, but if you don't already have some, this is good for, I also use this for the slider track on the screen door on the cargo side. So let's spray some of this in here. Okay, that's just gonna run on down, actually. Not quite as thick as I thought it would be. Oh, wow. All right, big difference. That'll help make sure the other one doesn't break, and it could be done for preventative maintenance just to make sure that maybe you don't ever have one break on you to start with. Let's give that one more time. Yeah, even bigger difference even the second time. So do that a few times. Definitely want to do that. And you probably won't be watching this if your window's not already broken, but it would be a really good idea to do this for preventative maintenance. Out where I live in the Southwest, all the plastic stuff dries out, so I'm not shocked at all. I've already replaced the passenger side, and so no surprise to me that this one broke. A lot of the cars just don't last too long out here, plastic parts. Would help to clean off the window, but I'm gonna put enough tape that it's gonna hold it no matter what. And I'm also gonna just shove this down in there too. All right, so the window's going nowhere. So I'm gonna use a 10 millimeter here. Got one there. I think these two up here. Yep, these two. And then one down here. Okay. Careful not to drop those. Would be smart if I put like a piece of cardboard down here or something, just in case I dropped them in the rocks. All right. Okay, and now we can get that down a little bit, and then we can remove this plug here. I think I'm going to use a small screwdriver. and then just pry that up just a little bit, the clip, and carefully just pull that back. There we go. I kind of pulled the seal a little bit. Okay, it's okay though. The blue seal was sticking to it. Okay, now we gotta find a way to get this out of here. So our biggest hole is down here on the left side. So make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Our biggest hole is down here on the left side. There we go. So it wasn't the cable that broke. It was the plastic. So just dried out plastic, of course. And here's the motor. Here's what we're going to swap out. It's actually, the cable's even bound up in there right now because it was so loose. So we're going to go in and show you how to swap the motor out. Okay, so lay your other one out here, just like the new one. And you're going to have 2 bolts here. You'll see this is the exact same orientation and everything. So let's redo these 2, undo these 2. I like to use hand tools for some things that are actually pretty important for torque specs and everything. You don't need to use hand tools when you're removing these, but I would rather use hand tools when I'm putting them back together. It just less of a chance of strip screws. All right, let's swabble this. Okay, now we need to be able to get, yep, it looks like that will just come out of there. Yep. Okay, so on the bottom side of this, you have just 3 tabs. And we're gonna move that directly over here. Line up your tabs in there. Is one of these bigger? Nope, they look like they're all the same size. There we go. Okay, got that pushed down in there now. Let's just hand start these. It's the same holes that they were in, so if you just kind of turn them back until you feel it drop a little bit, then you can get it finger started. You know you're not gonna strip it out, but it's going in correctly. Okay, I'm not gonna tighten that one fully until I get this one snugged up also. This really isn't a bad job. I'd say almost, you know, it's unfamiliar to most people. The door panel, getting that off is even more complicated than this. Okay. And snug. All right, on this new one, you know, these things are, this just came in a brown box, like a private label. So a lot of these are all the same, made by the same company. They just sell them to a bunch of different people, a bunch of different companies to resell. So these have little rubber nubs on the threads here that are just protecting the threads. So I'm gonna remove those. And then let's go get this installed. So you can fast forward past this if you want, but this is some extra credit. While I'm already in here, I'm gonna go ahead and add some sound deadening. I already had this. This is a Nyko brand, and a little roller. So I'm gonna add some sound deadening here. If you listen to this thing, it's terrible. They only have a little bit of sound deadener stuff down here. This thing's just a steel drum inside. So I'm gonna cut some of this up, put it in here, roll it on, and I'll put a link to some of this. I've heard really good things about just the Amazon Basics, which is pretty cheap. So if you have a little time to spare and you don't need to get this one done right away, put it in order for some of this stuff, and you know, you can use it around your van if you already haven't. I put this stuff all over my wheel wells in the back before I carpeted it, all inside the van build. So let's get to it. Just like I said, just fast forward if you don't care about this. And I'm gonna fast forward you guys through it.
30 seconds remaining.
Are you alone? You won't last 30 seconds playing this game. Click here to play now.
Okay, I don't know if you could pick it up on the camera or not before with the sound, but still got a little bit of resonance, but way less than before. I'm not sure what's rattling. It's probably just because the window's not held in, but big difference. Let's try and get this new window regulator up in here. Same orientation you took it out. Make sure you start putting it in. Like this. Ah, there we go. An angle like that. That did it. Okay. All right, now we're getting somewhere. All right, let's bring this over. Let's plug our clip in while we can bring it down to this opening and see what we're doing. Make sure your seal is all good in the right spot. That blue rubber seal. Got a nice click. Okay. Now we want to line up the bolt holes. Okay, I see what I did wrong. The top part of this is on that side of the bottom of the window. I need to drop it back down and bring it up on this side of the window. There's two. I'm gonna just put a nut on these and see if I can get these top two in here. There they go. Kind of had to just move the top around a little bit. All right. I think once I put these on here and then when I tighten them up, it'll draw it the rest of the way in because it's still hung up a little bit on the threads right there. We're gonna tighten all these up. Let's do these top ones first. My good old Craftsman ratchet, which is junk. I guess I can take this back to Lowe's, who bought Craftsman, and apparently get a new ratchet still, like Sears used to do. Okay, yep, that pulled these through. Now if my just junk ratchet would work. All right. Now our next thing to do is we're going to drop the window down and we're going to line it back up with that tab that's sticking out. So actually I'm going to leave that in there. I'm going to release all my tape. And you can reach in from underneath and you can grab the window. So right down here is where the window is, the tab, and nice, it just went right around it. And now we're going to put on the plastic tab here. Okay, so have our tab, make sure the window is fully on there. I'm going to get this at the bottom. Make sure you get both sides started underneath that nub sticking out. This may not be as easy as I was hoping. There it goes. Yeah, if you're gonna use something to push that, make sure you use something plastic and something carefully so you're not gonna get the edge of your window. Okay, so that's on there now. So before I put the door panel on, I'm going to plug in the window controls and I just run it up and down, make sure everything's good before I put it all back together. So let's get our window controls. We don't need to plug in the mirror. You can if you want to. Make sure nobody's behind you while you're doing this. Okay, put the key in, turn it to just far enough to do ignition. All right. There we go. I'm gonna hold it. Oh, one touchdown's already working. It actually touches at the bottom. It's interesting. I believe it's the plastic. Yeah, I can hear the plastic, or just the track maybe tapping up against that. It's okay, as long as it's not hitting anything that's moving. All right, I'm gonna also spray the tracks down inside here a little bit, just in case that stuff didn't run all the way down. And you know, you could actually get a cloth, like a shop rag would work really good, and just run it up and down the tracks. I think that would be really smart. Okay, so hope that helped you guys. Check the description out and I'll have the link to some window regulators, left and right side, with and without the motor, the tools, and then obviously a link to the FitRV so those guys can show you how to remove the panel and everything, and then just put it back in reverse order. Good, saved a lot of money. Thanks for watching.
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
Thank you, come again.